Come on.
Hey.
I'm like, is the link working?
Yeah. No, it's working.
Okay, good. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, everybody.
How's everyone doing? It's so early for us. This is weird.
An hour earlier.
Early.
I
It's
know.
8 o'clock, dude. What are you talking about? I'm ready for bed.
Yeah.
We're missing Joabe.
Yeah, he should be here. He's the one that asked for the link.
He did?
Yeah.
Oh. I'm really tired. Sorry, everybody.
It's okay.
It's all good. It's only Thursday, but
There
it feels like it's like Saturday. It's been a long
Yeah, that's no joke.
Hey guys,
Hi.
Drinking my coffee. Definitely tired too.
You have your coffee?
thing.
What's up?
You have coffee?
I do.
If I drive all the way north to where you are, do I get a free cup?
Yeah, if I'm working.
Yeah. I'm not gonna. Wait, we're talking about ethics here. We're talking about. We're not allowed to give out free coffee.
No. We at Starbucks, we don't do that.
No, not at all.
Never.
We're not about making things right.
We could be though, like, oh man, I made an extra white mocha. I'm sorry. Would you like it? I mean, we'd rather give it away than throw it away, right?
Yep.
It does sound good. How many calories are in those things?
You don't want to know.
You
Money.
really don't want to know.
Would you guys hate me if I said I drink Dunkin' Donuts?
No.
No, I actually promote people drinking McDonald's coffee.
Ugh.
It's not that bad.
Though, admittedly, when they come to the drive-thru and they're like, "Hey, can I get a sausage McMuffin?" Then I'm like, "All right."
I love when people say that. It just makes my day.
You can't get anything here.
Do people really say that?
Oh,
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 yeah.
yeah.
You hear
All
some
the time.
crazy stuff in the drive-thru. It was very entertaining.
It's a thing.
That's awesome. All right. Let's get to it. We're talking about ethics. What did I put? What was the Sorry, everybody. I'm really tired.
You want me to go over the prompt? I can just.
Yeah, please. If you have it up, that would be awesome.
Okay. This week's focus is
So the
defining
prompt-
ethics as a group, exploring how ethics shape leadership and how ethical behavior is reflected in public leadership.
That's right. Can I start just something small?
Go for
Yeah.
it.
Kevin starting?
absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
So page 3, and you guys feel free to chime in and cut me off because my username is Loudmouth Kev. That was from 20 years ago, though. I worked for Home Depot when Bob Nardelli took over. On page 341, we were talking about the challenge of privilege and how these CEOs come into these companies. They don't do jack squat. They destroy companies, and then they leave with a lot of money. Bob Nardelli, the CEO of Home Depot, who took it over from Arthur Blank, who owns the Atlanta Falcons, and the other guy, Bob Nardelli walked away with a $210 million severance package, despite the fact that the company's share price remained flat during his 6 years on the job. Bob Nardelli's the reason why I had to leave Home Depot, because he restructured from the top, worked it way down, and completely changed out logistics, which is what I was doing at the time.
How many severance package again?
$210 million.
My goodness.
I could have done more. Just give me a couple mil. I would have been happy with that. And I would have done a little bit more than what Bob Nardelli from Home Depot was doing. I also wanted to ask you guys since we're on ethical leadership and followership, if anyone thought about what's been happening at Michigan State and Larry Nasser and the USA Gymnastics.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the fact that the board of the gymnastics team had to all step down because they were forced, not because they wanted to.
Yeah.
That's crazy. How can you allow somebody to do these things and not say anything? That's what I don't get.
The Michigan State University Student Senate, I believe it was yesterday, the day before that, voted unanimously of you know what? I should have had my my facts up, but I was reading about it in the paper about how they have no confidence in the leadership at Michigan State University. It's like Penn State times 1,000. This is this is worse than what was happening. And not saying that maybe I should choose my words a little bit more wisely. It's not worse. It's just more on a more of a grand scale than what was happening at Penn State.
Yeah, and Michigan is not the only school that has reacted in that way either. There's this documentary on Netflix, and it goes through like all these big schools like Harvard, Princeton, Big Ten schools, a lot of big sports schools, and it just talks about like all of the sexual assault cases that have been covered up, and
Baylor,
every single campus, it's present, and it's crazy. Sure.
It's on Netflix?
I forget what the title is, but it's a documentary about it. It's really interesting.
Yeah, it's not just happening at Michigan State. I think it's worse because they were the home base for the United States gymnastics team, and he was doing it for so long to so many people.
And nobody was saying anything.
And
they were just
covering it up. The president of the university stepped down because she thought it was the right thing to do, not because of pressure, or at least that's what she said. What do you guys think?
Well, she in her statement said there's always somebody you have to put the blame on, and that's why she's stepping down, because she feels like she's the blunt of the push to make. So
I'm gonna call him.
I thought my boys were one of the first ones to do that.
Sorry, guys.
You should have let him join the call.
Right. He was begging for McDonald's already, so.
I thought it was interesting from the chapter 11 with the case study on banning the big gulp. Did you guys read that? With the nutrition facts that now have to be posted, and the mayor wanting to like reduce the size of soda cups because he thinks that it's leading to obesity, yet people go back for refills constantly. And like he's taking away our freedom because we can't choose what cup size we can order when we go to a restaurant. I mean, I think he's doing us kind of a favor essentially, but maybe that's because I'm in the food industry. I don't know.
Elise can probably attest to this. Last year, Cook County, Chicago President Mayor Rahm Emanuel and Tony Preckwinkle, the president of Cook County, imposed a soda tax.
Yep. I remember when that came out, that was a big deal. Like, yeah. That's where I worked.
People were so angry with the soda tax over the 6 months.
It was like 2 cents more. It wasn't a big deal.
Yeah. They repealed the tax because people were threatening riots in the streets all over a soda tax, which in Chicago, we don't call it soda, we call it pop. But everyone was angry because, well, and the thing with Cook County is that it's some of the highest taxes in the nation. But again, does this get into ethics where the government is really trying to get more money out of pop. And it's like, oh, it's just a couple cents. So we couldn't get the money from somewhere else. But people were angry about the soda tax. And I'm glad you brought that up, Melissa, because that was also in the book, how they did that in New York.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it talks about it in the little article. It says, you know, previous mandates have been accepted, like childhood vaccines, wearing seatbelts, things like that. Nobody has a problem with now, but when it's something new and, you're taking this away from me, or it's not something I can choose, then that's when people get angry.
Yeah. Bros all over Cook County were angry, like, whoa, dude, what am I going to do with my Monster Energy drink now? That's like another 7 cents more. The Shell gas stations couldn't give you 2 for $3. It was now 2 for $3.50.
Wow.
But yeah, that was Cook County.
And it's funny, like, how the communication works between the public and the government, because it's like the only way that the government can interact with the people is through imposing these taxes and just seeing what happens. You know, they just go for it, and then clearly it was an extreme negative response. And their initial reaction is not to, like, you know, work with them. It's immediately to take it out and be like, oh, just kidding. So
we're sorry, guys. We didn't mean to charge you more money on your pop. We're just going to get it somewhere else.
Right.
We'll get you at the gas pump.
Like, they didn't think of any other solution almost. Maybe they did, but...
There were commercials on television. There were commercials on radio to tell everyone to call your leadership and tell them to repeal the soda tax in Cook County. And sure enough, the president, Tony Preckwinkle, came out and was like, okay, like, we're not going to win this, so we're repealing the tax. We apologize.
Well, the ethical question there is it the government's position to regulate your self-control? At least with the big gulp case, is it their position to say, because you're not having the self-control to enjoy this in moderation or in a way that's healthy, we're gonna take away that privilege? So that's kind of where, I guess, is the tricky question.
A lot of people were saying with the soda tax, well, we're doing this because kids are fat. Kids are getting fatter and they're drinking too much sugar. Were they really doing it to help childhood obesity, or were they doing it because they have their hands in the cookie jar?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what's the... Was it ethical? I don't think anything in the state of Illinois is ethical. Our former governor is still in jail. In fact, I talked about that in my video, my leadership video.
So I thought the definition that the book gave for ethical was pretty interesting. So going back to chapter 9, page 275, it says, being ethical is engaging in two-way communication and building symmetrical relationships that encourage ethical behavior. And then it goes on to say that, like, to have ethical behavior, both parties need to trust each other. And I mean, in the case of the Cook County tax, it's like the public didn't really trust the government's decision. So I think that's interesting that, like, the communication does have to be somewhat equal, even if you have a superior and a non-superior.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I agree.
I want to know what Joabe thinks.
I agree. I think, I think for me, when it comes to ethical leadership, it just came to my mind, everything that is directed, related to respect for for ethical beliefs, values, and around dignity and right to others, and then everything that's associated with concept of trust, honesty, consideration, fairness, consistency, all this stuff, all this stuff. And I think I will refer here to the book. The textbooks here mentioned states on page 358 around leadership, leaders as a servant, right? For you guys that work for Starbucks, but throughout those open forums, Howard speaking, that's a term that he adopted, and then that's something that he expects for the active and senior leadership team, to be a servant leader, right? So the book here states, the servant leader puts the needs of followers before their own needs, right? So they're all about their follower. It's not that they're not going to lead them, right? They will lead people. However, they're still going to hold them accountable, but they will make sure that the follower understand they always going to be there for them when they get the support and the resource they need to successfully complete their job. So that's what comes to my mind when it comes to ethical. I think again, the servant leadership definitely is from that perspective. I believe that's kind of link directly to beliefs, the value and mission that I'm organization.
One last question. Have any of you worked for an unethical leader?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I've had a couple shifts at my store that were completely unethical, I think. But I told you guys about that one that had just had the one friend at our store who would hide things.
Give away coffee?
Yeah, totally unethically gave away coffee. No, what he would do is he would hide stuff that we needed in the morning when he closed, and then he would make sure like all of the pumps were completely disassembled, and then hide the O-rings for them so they wouldn't work, even if we could assemble them in time, and just like all kinds of stuff like that. And it was just because he was mad at us for, I guess, being mad at him for being dumb. So.
Didn't you say you had a supervisor that would, if the lines were too long, would give away free coffee and send people on their way?
That wasn't.
That was my store, one of my stores. He did a lot of unethical things, but that was one of them. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna invite 10 people there, so we make a big line. Free coffee.
He wanted to get the drive-through numbers down, so he essentially was giving away coffee and like tried to hide it from the district manager. Eventually, he got caught. He no longer works for Starbucks. So, yeah, I mean, bad deeds are going to get consequences. So, eventually, you're going to get caught. I don't know how you can think you can get away with stuff like that.
Yeah. We had another shift one time who would take the money that people were paying if they were paying in cash, and she would mark out their drinks using someone else's numbers. And then she would the cash.
Pocket the cash.
That's the other coworkers not say something. I would be like, what?
There was one other coworker that was doing the same thing with her, and they would split the cash. So, but one time she got caught eventually, obviously, and they estimated that she stole like $15,000 worth of money.
Wow.
Like, yeah, it was cool.
That's a lot of coffee.
It is. Well, she would also like, there was this one customer, she would mark out their drink every day. And then it got to where she was like marking out their family's drinks every day. And, but in exchange, that lady was giving her free manicures at her salon. So,
Oh
I was like, if you scratched my back.
Wow.
So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Your nails are beautiful. Yeah, I know.
Oh, thanks. I know.
You can't even wear your nail polish at Starbucks. I don't know what she's thinking.
I know, right?
Wow.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
We're at our one.
Yeah, it doesn't really surprise me. I know there's a lot of bad people out there that make bad decisions, but they're everywhere. You can't say it's just Starbucks. I'm sure there's some at McDonald's, some at Panera Bread, some at a gas station. You know, they're everywhere.
We had an assistant manager that would do fake returns. Customers would bring stuff in, and then he would pocket the change. And they went back to the camera and realized he stole over $23,000 cash from just that store.
Wow.
And he was the one that paraded a couple thieves around the store with the police officers to show everybody, you can't steal from my Home Depot store. Homeboy was pocketing $23,000 worth of cash from our store.
Wow. Yeah, they sometimes come off like the good guys, you know, to like get people off their path. Oh, that's fine. Everything's fine. You know what's interesting, though? I did find the definition of integrity actually was more, I think, more of an ethical definition, but this is what Google says. The quality of being honest and having strong moral principles, having an uprightness, good character. Some of the synonyms are truthful, trustworthy, sincere. I mean, and then the definition for ethic or ethical was just having good morals. So I think they're hand in hand, to be honest.
Yeah. I think the deal with integrity, though, is that it's you can have the appearance of integrity, but if your character is not the same whenever you're not around other people, or whenever you don't think you'll get caught, that's whenever it's really defined for yourself. If you are a totally different person when you're not around other people, then you don't have integrity.
Have integrity. Yeah, that's true.
You don't follow your words.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
One last thing. I kind of honed in on the altruism portion that it talked about, and how it makes concern for others the ultimate standard. I think that's a lot of times where we get tripped up, is not necessarily like an intent of unethical behavior, but it's more just that we are focused on ourselves and don't care about anyone else. So,
is there anybody in government right now where you can think of any big name in government right now?
Maybe 1 or 12.
We've never talked about Trump. I just wanted to throw it out there to see what anybody would say. Jess, if we get a bad grade on this, I'm blaming you because we just went over the mark. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
I could tell Jess lives in the South because the ceiling fan's on.
That's true. Yeah.
It got up to 36 degrees in Chicago today, and I wore shorts to work.
Ooh.
It was so warm out today. It was great.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? And the humidity, I was like, oh, this is awesome.
We kept the drive-through window open at Starbucks all day. We're like, woohoo!
Yeah. Anything 35 and over is like a heat wave here.
Yeah, it's 67 here right now.
I don't want to hear it.
So it's great.
All right, guys. Oh, one more thing. So, teacher, you can stop it at this point. So we have to go comment on each other's videos, presentation videos.
Mm-hmm.
And then when is that due? Is that due next week?
Yeah, that one's due next week, the 19th.
I think, is that a Monday?
I think so.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, no,
Maybe.
Tuesday.
Okay, Tuesday.
So our initial interview post is tonight, and then the follow-up is next week, next Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
No, the 19th is a Monday.
Oh, just kidding.
Monday. We're all going to get it late.
So we have to comment on everybody's video, and so we watch everyone in our group's video, and then we comment on it, and then copy and paste our comments into a Word doc?
Yeah. And then there's a link to submit the Word doc in week 7.
I'm glad you guys said something because I was like, what?
That would have been when we looked at it the 19th and been like, oh, oops. I guess I'll do this now.
All right. Next week, same time at 9 and 7?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. All right, everybody. Have an awesome weekend.
All right.
You'll have a great night.
You too.
Talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.